Welcome to Tumblrpon 2, Princess Boogaloo. My name is TJ Carson. I am the moderator of Ask Pirate Dash and Ask Mike Boom. We're going to have a fun and informative panel here tonight, even better than what we did last year. And we've got some really great panelists here to help explain the world of Tumblrpon to you. And I'd like everyone to go down the line and introduce themselves right now.
Hey, I'm Wiggles. I'm the moderator for Ask King Sombra.
Yeah! I'm Miles McCormack, and I do Ask Serious Rainbow.
I'm Fisherpon, and I reblog everyone and everything.
Penguin Potential. And
No, sir.
I'm Penguin Potential.
I don't think your mic's on.
They don't want
I'm
to.
Penguin Potential, and I run Ask Frigid Drift.
I'm Fluffy, and I do Poofy Horse.
I do want to make one other note, though. We were supposed to have another panelist here tonight, the moderator of Pegasus, Lola, Sasha, but she couldn't make it because U.S. immigration, or UK immigration, screwed her over. So we were very sad by that, and we wish she was here tonight. So.
We'll be taking $17,000 and give you an extra hour in the vault to pay for her.
Shush. All right, so let's begin. Who here is actually on Tumblr? Wow, so this is going to be like a refresher course then.
Who here runs an Ask blog? Those of you who didn't put your hands up, get one.
So I guess everybody kind of knows this, but we'll start off by explaining what Tumblr actually is. If you don't know, and 95% of you know already, this is for the benefit of the people watching at home at a later date. Tumblr is one of the newest social media sites out there. It's a microblogging site. It's a site where you can post text of anything, like journals and such. You can post photos, you can post videos, links, just anything you can imagine. Like, it's like a little mini blog that you have. And the My Little Pony community has used that format to be able to have a creative world of characters and personalities that we like to call Tumblrpon. You want to add to that? Because that's pretty basic.
Many, many shenanigans go on.
Yeah. So like I said, there's many different ways you can be involved in Tumblr, and there's many different types of Ask blogs that you can have. The most prominent form of Ask blogs out there today are the drawn Ask blogs, which I would say cover about 90% of the entire community. You basically receive Ask, and you take your character and you draw a response, draw a little world. Just basically take pen to paper, or pencil to paper, or tablet to tablet device, and draw your world and draw a reply.
And the character in that blog can be a canon character, a derivative of a canon character, like he runs a Pirate Rainbow Dash blog that many of you are probably familiar with. It can be your OC, it can be something completely out of the blue. I've seen some blogs that aren't even ponies that are just involved. They get involved with pony blogs and therefore are part of the community.
And it's not, you don't have to restrict yourself to just drawing answers and such, because I know everyone doesn't think that they're the most talented artists in the world. Maybe they're a little scared to try, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's other ways you can be creative out there as well. Written Ask blogs can be a great example of that, where you build little stories with the written word. You create imagination with them. Try to explain this the best way possible. You basically write stories. It's basically fan fiction. You build your world with that.
And there's other blogs, like not even just drawing blogs that are still involved art-wise. Like there was one blog that was a couple years back that was a Rainbow Dash that was made entirely out of Skittles, like real-life Skittles. And there's other people who don't even do writing or art, but like Rusty Nail, who everyone is pointing at in the front row, makes drinks of famous Tumblrpons and got famous that way.
So basically what we're trying to say is, if you can think it, you can make it. Just any concept that you can think of is possible in the world of Tumblrpon.
And people will eat it up.
Or drink it up in his case. There's other types as well. You can do a voice acting blog as well. There's a few prominent ones out there. Yeah, Wildcard's a good example of that, where they'll receive Ask and they'll do voice acting in the persona or the character that they want. And then you don't have to be restricted by something that's just set still. Frigid is a great example of another type of blog, animated blogs, if you can dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, I do animations. Thank you. GIF animations for Tumblr because they allow GIF format for animations. GIF.
GIF.
It's not.
We're
a
not
thing that-
starting that debate here.
GIF. I use GIFs. It hurts to say it that way.
Moving along.
And I use them as my format. I use Adobe Flash to animate my GIFs. And then I export them and upload them, the movements. Pretty cool.
Drawings of his horse eating an apple and stuff like that.
What about time and dedication to the blog?
Oh, what?
Time and dedication. I mean, it takes a lot of time, to manage the whole thing and keep it running.
We'll get to that. We got it on the outline, trust me.
There will be questions later.
Yeah, we'll take questions later. Trust me, we'll get there. Now that you know what type of Ask blogs and different things you can do in the community, you gotta know what is the right pony to do for your Ask blog. You just can't really pick a random character. You gotta pick a pony that's right for you. And there's many different types that you can pick from. You can do a canon pony, where it's your take and your interpretation on how, say, Roseluck or Lyra would behave, or even Twilight or Rainbow Dash. You can take that concept and that pony and just make it your own interpretation.
Usually done by adding some sort of quirk to it, like Pirate Rainbow Dash or Researcher Twilight, or there's a Pinkie Pie that come out of the fourth one was done entirely in real life on paper cutouts.
Or a machine gun Rainbow Dash.
That gets into the alt canon universe, where they're not exactly what you imagine they would be, like she's a pirate. And in some cases, the canon blog that you can make can be a lot better than what the show actually portrays them as.
Oh, yeah.
Wiggles, for example.
Well, I didn't really pick a character that was close to my heart. I just picked the newest character that had come out. They just showed his head, and I was like, no one's done a blog on that. I'm gonna do a blog on that. And then I watched the episode, and he said 4 words and died, so we had to go from there.
He wasn't less than 4.
She's put more personality into Sombra than Hasbro could have ever imagined, and that's what makes Tumblrpon great.
And it's all in his nose.
Pretty much.
Oh, no nose jokes.
You don't even have to take canon characters from the show as well. You can make your own original characters. Flufflepuff and Frigid, for example, are 2 of the most prominent OC blogs out there in the fandom. Flufflepuff has taken off a life of its own, pretty much.
I don't know what to say.
Don't be shy.
What am I saying?
You say things.
Yes.
Just talk about how it feels to run an OC blog.
That's insanely popular.
I don't know. Speechless.
How did you get started on Spotlight to Tumblr?
How to get started? It's
Spotlight to the Tumblr.
it's just a side blog I wanted to do just in my free time with alongside Dan versus Friendship is Magic. And then just people started liking that one more, so I kind of shifted to that.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. We'll save questions for later, okay? Trust me. We'll have time. We've got a lot to cover, so we'll move on. So now, those are the different types of ponies that you can do. Now you've got to tell the story. There's different ways you can tell the story of your pony, OC, Ask blog, your canon character. And as we all know in this fandom, it's not always sunshine and rainbows with the ponies. we'll start off with some of the different genres you can go to, like slice of life is one example that we can think of, where it's just basically them throughout the day and how you would answer the questions as such.
Like Ask Merryweather, they were pointing over there. It's a good example where it's just the day in the life of an OC. You ask questions and they answer. You know, there's no big overarching plot, but there's character development.
And on the exact other end of the spectrum, there's massive adventure blogs like the well-known Woundstuck. That the questions drive the adventure, but there is an overarching plot in mind that the creator has in mind from the start.
And like I also mentioned before, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are quite a few grimdark blogs out there that can be well written and well done. One example I can think of off the top of my head is Question Pinkamena. It's the most adorable gore you'll ever find on the internet.
Yeah.
Any examples you guys can think of?
I can think of Fractured Loyalty. Yeah, Little Miss Rarity too.
Of course.
I think you meant more like different genres rather than examples of Grimm's or whichever.
Or examples of grimdark blogs. you
Yeah.
can think of
Well, yeah.
That are real well
Yeah.
done.
Well, the really famous one is Crooked's Pinkamena, but that one's ancient. Still lays the foundations for a lot of things, though.
And Belated.
Okay, so, and there's many more genres that you can cover as well. We also have shipping listed as well. You know, there's quite a few shipping blogs out there for your favorite ship. Pirate Dash is not a shipping blog.
Fight, fight, fight! Kiss, kiss, kiss!
There's a ship. There's not shipping yet.
But yeah, there are a lot of blogs where they take two characters and put them in a relationship and follow them through like their relationship dramas, adventures they go on, cute huggy kissy things that get thousands of notes, that sort of stuff.
Yes. All right. So now we've covered what type of blog you want to do, what type of pony you want for the blog, and how you want to go about the blog. Next, it's how you want to get your name out there. If you sit on the sideline, nobody's going to notice you. Nobody's going to find you.
Except me.
Many ways to get your name. I missed that. Anyway,
Well, there we go. Advertising.
there's one example.
And that's the sort of thing you need to do.
Red.
So Fishers are excellent.
You get a card!
You get a card! You get a card! You get a card! Everyone get a card!
All right.
Seize the direction.
All right, calm down. All right, so Fisher is pretty much our expert on getting your name out there since he finds all the blogs and promotes all of them. So I'd like him to talk about that for a little bit.
So there's really 3 ways to get your name out there. First off is people reblogging you, because the post you make, everyone who blogs it goes to their blogs, goes to their followers' dashboards, and that's the main way of spreading through Tumblr, like the most common way. Another way is tags, and for that it's rather imperative that you spell your tags properly, because I've seen Sweetie Belle with spelled like Dong Bell, and it.
And with a Y.
Oh yes, but yeah, and also attending other people's live streams and holding live streams yourself, because then people get to know who you are as the author and creator, and you forge friendships that way. And through that, you can do collaborations, reblog tennis, where you reblog a thing with your character. It's basically like a role play between draw blogs. Yeah, like crossovers.
And asking questions really helps. I know I followed a lot of blogs because they kept asking questions, and I went, oh, that's a cool icon. I'll check out their blog.
Have a cool icon.
Yeah. Any other ways to get your name out there that you guys?
Well, sending Ask in character is also a
Yes.
idea.
And there's also one way that some people view as a bit cheap, but I think it's valid, drawing fan art of blogs that have a lot of followers.
Yes.
Drawing fan art is probably one of the best ways to get your name out there. I will freely admit, the policy I have for PD is if you draw her, I'm going to post her to the blog or reblog it to the blog, because you took the time out to draw something for me, and I want to show my appreciation for it, so you get the attention there. And it helps get your name out there. There used to be, it might still be in effect, but it's pretty much the PD effect, and it can also be the Wiggles effect nowadays, where
Been passed on.
if we reblog you, you're gonna get a lot of followers. So,
I have people, feature Sombra and I'll reblog it, and then they'll message me later and be like, "This has 100 notes now. What did you do?"
And some people think that it's a bit of a cheap way of getting follows, but I kind of disagree because it's up to the person you drew fan art of. It's up to their followers whether they want to follow you or not.
Right.
You're just getting your name out there.
And I
Showing
mean,
goods.
draw fan art for things you like. Don't just be like, "Oh, you'll get me a lot of followers. I'll draw you."
Your
There's no
coattails
heart
look
in it.
very nice.
So, the next thing we want to cover is you've got your name out there, you've got everything set. Now you need to actually update your blog and make posts for it. What?
Less than 2 times a year.
Yes, you're supposed to update your blog, Wiggles.
3 times a week, right?
Why
Every
don't you just tell
single
everybody
week.
about it?
How you doing?
I'm a
There's-
robot, so-
There's actually 5 of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, what works is setting a schedule where I said, the crazy limit of update 3 times a week, no matter what, which I don't recommend to everyone. But, set yourself a goal that you can reach once a week, once a month, whatever, as long as you do it. So don't be like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm feeling gross today. I'll do it tomorrow," because you won't do it tomorrow.
3 months later.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing to keep in mind too, you can keep a schedule to be consistent. You don't have to strictly adhere to it. Not everyone can be Wiggles. But it's important to not overwork yourself when you set a schedule. Because if you overwork yourself, you're going to get stressed out. You're going to get burned out on it, and then you don't even want to touch the blog for a while. And then you'll get the ask 6 months later, "Why aren't you updating anymore?" So it's important to keep it fun while still trying to consistently update it as well.
Yes, and if you go crazy like me and try to update every day, it gets a little hectic, but you gotta make sure you answer it for you. You can't answer it for your followers.
And it's also important to not feel pressured to keep doing it once it stops getting fun, because it shows in the final product that you're not having fun anymore.
Yeah, if you don't have fun, it's not gonna be good.
Right. Now, let's say you're not getting any asks on your blog and no one's really feeding you anything and you don't feel like you can update because there's nothing in that inbox. That doesn't mean that you can't rig an ask yourself.
Anyone can be anonymous.
You can go anonymous on your own blog and ask yourself a question to advance a story. Like, if I want to do a particular update because I want her to throw a cannonball at Trixie or something like that, and if I don't have anything in the inbox for it, just click on Anon and pretend that I'm someone else and just ask the questions. And there's your motivation to go ahead and make the post.
And because that post will start a new story arc or put some new interesting character development that no one had thought of, if you do it properly, your followers are going to send you enough questions to keep fueling that fire so you can keep going with whatever idea it is you have.
And you can always ask your friends to ask for you. That works too. I've done that before. I'm like, "Hey,
Everyone
I need a
has.
certain question. Just put
And-
one in my inbox."
And if you have a mod blog, you can use that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Although
it's-
make sure that it's completely different name.
It's also important to remember too that you don't necessarily need an ask to have an update. Like if you're starting a new arc, for example, like nobody knows that you're going to do this, so you just go right ahead and do the update, and then the questions will flow in after that. If you're active out there, you'll get the questions. So.
And just because you're not getting questions, don't take that as disheartening. Oh, no one likes me anymore. If you don't post, no one will see you on your dash. So like if you haven't posted for a month or two, you might not be getting new questions, but you'll still have X hundred number of followers who, when they see your new post on the dash, are like, "Oh, they're active again. Yay, I'm going to flood their inbox with useful things."
Although sometimes it's not really useful.
Or butts.
And kind of the same thing with likes. Don't use that to judge how many people have seen your artwork. Because I did the math, and like compared to followers and notes, it's like I think under 1% of people, click the like button.
Yeah.
But most of them will have actually seen it.
Yeah. So don't get discouraged.
Yeah. Just go ahead with it because you love doing it and you want to have fun with it. That's the main point there. Some other points we wanted to hit. Kind of get into the drama stuff a little bit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Boo.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Patience. We got other things. One of the biggest drama things that we see from time to time is someone will hit a milestone, and they'll draw a reaction pic to celebrate, and they'll include a few ponies that they feel are close to the blog, or just draw some random ponies.
Friends,
Friends
inspiration,
and such.
Definitely
followers.
And you'll get people that are a little butthurt that their pony didn't get into the post. Just remember this. You're not obligated to draw any pony that you don't want to. And you're, in that regard too, you're not obligated to follow any blog that you don't want to. I'll use me as an example. In my mod blog. PD currently has about 10,800 followers on it, but the mod blog only has about 375. That's because I post things that Tumblr doesn't really want to follow, like sports. Yes. Thank you. And I have close friends too that don't even follow my mod blogs, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because you want on your dashboard things that you want to see, things that you're interested in.
And also, since you've been around for ages, Tej, most of those followers are inactive and/or dead blogs. Like when I transferred Fisherpond to make my own mod blog back in December, it had 6,000 or so followers. Then I did the transfer and put out a whole bunch of posts saying, "Hey, follow this blog. This is where things are going now." And I found that maybe 3,000, 4,000 of those followers were dead weight.
Ooh.
So numbers aren't far from definite.
You're right.
Another point we want to hit, we love it when you send in Ask, and it helps us out a lot, but as I could probably attest to, Fluffle probably gets this a lot, Wiggles too, I get it a lot.
Me too.
We know when you want us to draw your OC. PD has enough crew members already.
I've gotten a lot of people, wanting to become dark magic students from me. I'm like, we're in the frozen north. We can't really, or the TARDIS has landed a couple times.
Yeah, stop sending in asks about Discord tubes to me because it's not gonna work. Hugs.
Oh,
Yeah, no hugs. Please don't send hugs. No.
Touch his butt.
You probably get that a lot, don't you?
The hugs one?
Or anything like that.
Yeah. Like at least every day there's 10 people trying to hug.
So yeah, we know when you're trying to get us to draw your character. We know all the tricks.
If you want us to draw our character, if you want us to draw your character, here's our commission info.
Yes.
Another point we want to make. If you want to send an ask to a blog, please research the blog to find out if an ask has been answered before or not. Here, I want everyone to look at her eye patch here. I want everyone to look at her eye.
It's there.
Her eye is fine. Stop asking.
The illusion is ruined.
I've addressed that a few times already. So please research before you ask.
Please read all 20, pages of my blog before.
Only 20.
Only 20?
I would find.
I mean, like 20s, and then there's like 15 updates per. I don't know. There's a lot.
I
There's
have
over-
85 pages.
With the speed you update Wiggles, you're probably sitting around 300 now.
Yeah. And then another one last point we want to make. Try your best, your absolute best, to keep your Ask blog as your Ask blog. Try not to do out of character posts so many times. If you want to reblog your commission list or post your commission list to your Ask blog, that's fine. Or a donation drive, that's fine too. But don't let your Ask blog devolve into some kind of mod blog where you're ranting and raving all the time.
Or reblogging posts of cats and the like.
Yeah.
To ask character.
No one is coming to Pirate Dash to hear me whine and moan about how the Cardinals are playing. Yes, sports. They're here to see PD on pirate adventures. I'll explain that in a bit.
And also, going back to the previous topic of drama, never let drama seep into your Ask blog.
Never.
I'm gonna use Fisher's example. It's like I'm gonna use real life answers. Or internet drama. I'm gonna use this example here. You could have a really hot and attractive girl, just one of the most beautiful women in the world, and it's like an Ask blog that has very beautiful and pretty perfect art and such. But if on the inside she has a toxic personality and is just a horrible person, you don't want anything to do with her. Just like the Ask blog, if it has toxic posts and bad posts, you don't want anything to do with that.
Do you have an example?
You implied that I was an example of that.
What?
You implied I was an example of that.
No, I don't.
If me and TJ were a ship, it'd be a Kismistitude for sure.
Fisher can't.
Only the
stand me.
Homestuck will get that.
Anyway, so anyone got any other points they want to make or anything that we haven't covered yet?
You wanted a motivational speach.
No, we'll do that after.
After the
Okay.
Q&A.
Let's do Q&A time. So
Questions.
what we'll do, we're gonna form a line. Staffer's got a microphone there, so form a line by him.
By the giant projector of doing that.
Yes. So we don't have a repeat of last year. Get to your question. Don't tell us a story, just get right to it. So
And
we can
please-
save time and get as many people in.
And don't ask if X idea would make a good blog. It would. Just do it, and
also,
people will come.
keep your ask as general as possible. Don't ask like what's happening in the next Sombra update or something like that. Just
Oh, yeah.
We know.
general.
We know.
Killing everyone.
And safe for work questions only.
Yeah, please, save for work.
Yeah, this is a G-rated panel.
Yeah.
All right. First
Bring it
up.
on.
Go ahead.
My question is for Frigidrift. I was wondering what provided the inspiration to create the Ask blog, Ask Frigidrift.
Oh, we forgot to go over that at the start. I'll tell you, let's expand that for everyone, but we'll let Frigid go first.
Yeah.
We forgot to do introductions.
Well, oh yeah, we did. No, we
Your
didn't.
turn. Go.
No,
Okay,
just go.
Here we go. I created Frigidrift. I was in the pony. I was in the pony. I was in the pony for a year.
Inside this pony, this tiny pony here.
The fandom.
Oh, okay.
And I was on DeviantArt a lot, and a lot of people told me to get Tumblr because they said I could open up and talk to a lot of people a lot easier. Like, I was just kind of drawing for the sake of drawing and losing inspiration because I didn't have people, like, sending me inspiration. I get the inspiration from people telling me things I should do. The Tumblr question inbox is a great source of inspiration for me. So I tried out Tumblr, and I didn't actually have a character at first. I created Frigid I had live streams on DeviantArt. I had one person in each stream. So that person would help me design Frigid. I started out with a base, and I put on the hair and chose the colors, and ice is my favorite element, so I went with that. Frigid came up with a catchy name, and then I created the blog for it, and that's pretty cool. And then Dr. Colgate kind of gave me my first reblog, and then that really started pushing me into the whole group of Tumblr artists.
And would you say the interaction helped your motivation? Introduction?
Interaction.
Interaction, yes. having Frigid interact with the other characters, the other Tumblr blogs, really developed her personality. Grew like someone asked about her favorite color. I developed her favorite color based on that question. I wouldn't have thought of it on my own until someone asked me that.
Okay. As we go down, Fisher doesn't run an Ask blog, so we're going to change your question a little bit. What made you want to do a reblog blog?
Well, really, it started out with me having this silly notion that I'd post every interesting picture I found on Pony Brew to Tumblr. That quickly died out, and then from there I realized that, like, okay, I just can't sit around and be a consumer. I got to help out somehow. So the Tumblr tags are a bit of a mess, but I can scroll quickly and I can post quickly. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna go through there, and there's a lot of people getting ignored because they don't have any followers. They don't have people to start the chain reaction of followers and frenzy and fire and butts and things of that sort. So I get that started for them. I'd promote everyone.
Okay. Serious, what's motivated your blog?
Serious Sam plus Rainbow Dash plus really stupid references equals comedy.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
I think you already told Wiggles, but what motivated Sombra?
Yeah, I just saw, I saw like the Tumblr community, and I hadn't been drawing for like 2 years, and I really wanted to start again. So I was like, what would help me draw if I drew every single day? So for 2 months, Ask King Sombra updated every single day, and then I scrolled it back a little bit. But yeah, and then I had like, I don't know, 50 followers before the episode actually came out, and then the episode came out, and I got like 2,000 followers in like a week. So yeah, it's just been growing from there.
A lot of the times getting like how many followers you have is as much luck as it is skill.
Yeah.
Being in the right place at the right time, getting the right reblogs. Really, followers are no sign of, they're a sign of how many people are listening to you, but they are not a sign of how good you are.
Burn.
I believe you told already too, Fluffle, but what motivated you to start yours?
Well, at first it was just a little side blog I wanted to do, because people kept asking about her on the Dan blog. So
Well, how
I
about this
made-
then? What started the Dan blog?
I saw that one commercial where Pinky bedazzled his car. Just thought I could go from there. I guess it worked. No one knows yet.
Next question.
What? You're gonna skip me?
Yes.
TJ, what inspired you to start Pirate Dash?
I'm so glad you asked, Wiggles, because you're the only one that did. Pirate Dash got started because it came from a prompt in a DeviantArt group in the Artist Training Ground alumni group, where the theme was pirates versus ninjas. So I half-assed a Rainbow Dash wearing an eye patch and a vest. I liked the concept a little too much, and drew her kidnapping one of the mods of the DeviantArt group, and I continued to like the concept more. At the same time, my OC Ask blog was not doing so hot, so I thought, well, I'll take a crack with starting Ask Pirate Dash, and that's how it began. Now, next question.
I just have a short question for Flufflepuff. I know you got asked yesterday what her cutie mark is, and now I don't expect you to have that answer in 24 hours, but is it something that you think you'll at least maybe explore in the future?
Yeah, maybe.
Next question.
As a slow artist, like I draw very slowly, I find doing comic strips very daunting. How do you like get past that feeling of having to draw the same pony like 4 or 5 times in one picture?
Copy paste.
That's easy.
I do that
It's
too.
like cheating, but it might work.
Doesn't turn.
Before we get to the next question, let me touch up on something that we kind of forgot to go over. You don't have to do an Ask blog by yourself. There's a few blogs out there in the universe that are collaboration blogs, where you'll have one guy that writes the script, and you'll have another guy that draws the art for it. One example I can think of is Hunted Luna. One guy writes it and another guy draws it.
Well, to be exact, one guy writes it and then commissions every single piece of art to be drawn. It's crazy how
Is
much
that how
money's
it
being
works,
flowed through
Trixie?
there. That's what I heard, at least.
You have the artist right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, next question.
You lucky man.
Hello. Hello, I'm the moderator of Ask Lightning Feather. One problem I tend to have a problem with is when, like, I have other blogs that I follow that are friends that are sometimes suffering with a lack of asks and everything, and I want to help them, but yet I'm unable to think of an ask to send them that, you know, without like cheating because I already know some of their storyline or something. Like, what could you do to like inspire yourself to send a certain ask or something to that blog, like, you know, to help motivate them a little bit?
What makes a good question? Is that what?
Yeah. Well, what could you do to, like, you know, help yourself make a question for them that would help them?
Know the character's personality traits. Know what the character likes. Know what their positives and negatives are, their pros and cons. Use that to help think of what kind of questions you would ask them.
What territory hasn't been explored? How can you break them?
Hello. So, when creating very large posts, usually with multiple pictures, is it better to have a series of large resolution panels all aligned in thumbnails, or is it better to just create one giant image, would you say?
It's better to break them up.
Yeah.
into different
Break them up.
images.
Yeah.
Because Tumblr can be pretty
Dumb.
finicky when it has large resolution pictures, and it will make it look like it was drawn with a potato. One good way to do it is to split it up into small images and then host the big one on Imgur and put a link in the description.
Yeah.
And
Best
a lot
of
of
both
people
worlds.
only look at Tumblr on their phones, so they have to, like, you know, try and stare and move around. It's harder to do when you have a big comic, but when they're nice little, you know, chunks, it's easier to look at.
And as a technical tip too, when you make a photo post on Tumblr, you can only post up to 10 images in one post. So.
And if those pictures are too wide or too tall, Tumblr will also make it look like it was drawn with a potato. So.
And GIFs have a limit of 2 megabytes.
You need
They
to
have
do
to
black.
be under 500 pixels wide, or they'll
Yeah,
freak
there
out.
is black magic involved in getting GIFs to work properly on Tumblr.
Yeah.
I have mastered such magic.
There's black magic just getting gifts to work.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Hi, Senpai 126. When you initially got on Tumblr, what was your reaction?
Can you repeat that?
When you initially like pieced together your blog, really got on Tumblr, what was your reaction to that?
I mean, I had no idea how Tumblr worked. I got on and was like, what is this? And then a week later, you're like, I get it!
And you're spending 5 hours on it a night.
I sort of
24.
I sort of blundered my way into where I am now, so I can't really answer that. But to poke on the last person's question, Jack in the audience here said that there are guides on Google for Tumblr GIF magic.
Yeah,
and image limits as well.
All right, next question.
On Tumblr, how would you do a not character-driven story, but a story-driven story? How would you do that on Tumblr?
Like a written story?
Yeah, more of not character-driven, but story-driven.
Focusing on multiple characters instead of a single one.
Sort of like following a world type story?
Yeah. Like it's not driven by the characters because it has already a set story in motion.
Isn't that like a narrative rule that characters drive narrative? Not really. Probably one of like
Well, one thing for that is that when you have many, I'm not going to answer the entire question because I don't really know how to answer it, but when you have many characters involved, like I'd say more than 5, you're going to want to put in the blog mechanics, like a button on the sidebar like with references to the character, a short description of what they do and who they are, just as a quick reference guide for your followers.
Okay.
So if someone shows up in an update and all your followers are like, who is this? They can go there and say, oh, it's this guy who showed up 30 updates ago. I know who this is.
I just let people be confused.
Guys, maybe question mark.
All right, thank you. Next question.
Hey, for an Ask blog currently on hiatus, what would you suggest doing in order to get back into the swing of updating frequently?
Just do it. There's just no formula to coming out of a hiatus. You just gotta go out and do it. Make a post, even if it's just like a simple sketch or anything like that. Just go out and do it. And there's other ways you can do to combat a hiatus as well. I had a problem back in October where my laptop died and I wasn't able to get one for a while. So what I did was ask some friends, it's like, hey, can you make some guest updates for me? And I had some positive responses to that. And even when I could post something by myself, it was just a simple sketch that was kind of explaining what was going on. Those are some ways you can combat a hiatus. Just go out and do it.
Hello. Okay, what are your approaches to handling those fans who are absolutely obsessed with you and your blog?
I'm backing into this one because I've never had any of those.
I've never had any of those either.
Fisher, you have me.
I love you, Fisher. I want the workers, Jim.
I mean, just
What was the question?
crazy fans.
How do you deal with stalker fans?
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, for me, I think you just need to be nice, but not too nice. I mean, be firm, but don't be a jerk. That's the worst thing you can do when someone's like, I'm a huge fan. I love you so much. Don't be like, you're a peon. You're below me. No, just be like, thank you. And then when they send you 30 more asks, just delete them.
And if they get too creepy for you, there is a block button. So,
Though it's called ignore now.
that too.
It's questionable how well it works, but it does exist.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Hello, I'm the mod of Ask Skate Around. I would just like to say, what would your advice be to as far as avoiding for blogs? Because I've been seeing all these like different like follow contests to like get more posts or get more followers or get more notes on all of your stuff. So, like, as far as that, expand on that. What would be ideal to ignore?
You mean like how to ignore posts that just sort of appear on your dash a billion times?
No, I mean like there are these like little log things that have like the graphs about like
Statistics.
yeah, that.
Use Xkit to block it.
Yeah, there's extensions that you can download, and you can basically blog posts that way and block tags.
Yeah, when it comes to Tumblr's mechanics, there's a number of good extensions, most hosted under the Xkit name, that will triple how well Tumblr works for you in a variety of ways.
And it makes your dashboard a lot cleaner. Like, you don't want to unfollow them, but you don't want to see that post. Having Pokemon blocked on my dashboard has made my life so much easier. Thank you. Next question.
Hi. So, character, story, and even art style. How do you stay consistent, and what do you do when you change your mind?
I don't. Consistent art style.
Like just being overall consistent. Like, for example, let's say you had a Pinkie Pie blog, and she's all sunshine and rainbows when you started, but somewhere along the line you're like, well, now I kind of want her to be more dark and brooding and have this plot line of, oh, the sun is falling down and she's got to stop it in 3 days. You know, how do you switch over, or how do you keep up that consistency, and how do you keep a blog from being boring if you keep up the same thing over and over?
A couple things that come to mind would be like to do a gradual transition, I'd so to say, because the worst thing you could do is just suddenly jump from sunshine and rainbow to gore and guts, because that will chop your followers down like a tree in the mountains.
You need to warn them first. I know I followed a couple blogs being like, oh, this looks like a nice blog, and then suddenly there's not safe for work. And I'm like, haha, no.
Delete it.
Yeah. People tend to not like major changes to a character that just slams them right in the face.
Like drawing wings.
I'll give the example of someone shouted out earlier where I apparently locked her in a closet or something. That wasn't true. What I did was, my baseball team was playing the Pirates in the playoffs last season, so I told her she couldn't be a Pirate for a week. It got me a lot of unfollows for that, but on
It was
a
a good joke.
positive as well, it also got me a lot of reaction, a lot of notes, a lot of asks. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. But
And
the best thing to do is just
the other
be
part of
fresh.
that question too is artwork-wise and experimentation. You know, like changing how you shade a character, how you draw a character, kind of how you layer an artwork or something.
I'd say keep changing. I mean, you
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
growing. If you
Yeah.
keep doing the same thing, you'll
While
never
it's
learn.
important to not like, while it's important to not like jump all over the place with your art style, you don't have to lock yourself into one particular art style. Most followers are going to be there for the character and for the world you've built. If you want to change how they look, if it's that drastic of a change, make the same picture in both styles and ask your followers, would you be alright if I switch to this style? Is this okay? Please forgive me.
Well, always do the style you want to do, because you know if you hate what you're drawing, you're not gonna have fun updating.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add to that, it happens to everybody. Your art style is going to change, and if you consistently do your blog, your art is going to get a lot better, even without you realizing it or not. People's art will improve a lot over time, and it's happened to everybody up here, out there, in the community. It will happen. Just got to keep at it.
I started with Flash when I started, and it was lame, and now it's
less lame.
bumped. Yeah, it's bumped up to mediocre.
His nose got longer.
As a personal, from my blog, I was improving my art from when I started. I wanted to be an art blog. And then I started doing a lot more GIF posts. I said it right this time. GIF posts.
All right. Thank you. All right.
So-
we gotta keep going. Next question. Thank you.
Okay, my question is a bit for everyone here. What would you say would be the best way to, I guess, to train yourself to get better at, just ways to practice your art to improve, you know, if you don't know, like, from anything, you know, just starting out, or maybe, you know, you're very basic when it comes to art, and you want to find ways to improve your art itself, like maybe regimes, or, you know, things for, like, proportions and things like that.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Just
and
go out and do it.
if you have any friends who are who you think are better than you and they have the time, ask them if they can give you a tutorial. It'll definitely help you out.
Ask them to redline your work.
Yes.
And one thing is, you don't post it online, but you can copy other people's artwork just to, you know, get an idea of what you like. You're like, oh, I like how they draw ears. I'm gonna try and do that. I like how they draw eyes, but don't, you know, trace something and then put it online and go, this
That'll
is
cause all
mine.
kinds of flack.
That's bad. But you can say, hey, this is mine, but I traced it from this person with their permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask permission.
And don't be afraid to use reference pics as
Yes.
well. Like, don't copy the reference pic, but use it as like a guide and motivation.
I did that this morning.
All right, next question.
Hi, Magnet Mod. Magnet Bolt and 4 Street Samurai. Go follow it. Anyways.
What?
Magnet Bolt and 4 Street Samurai. Please follow me. I might update. Anyway, most of you know me already.
Do the question. Say the question. Get on with it.
I'll kid you not, I got hate mail on my first day of starting the blog.
Oh no.
My question is, how long it took for you to get hate mail?
I think I got my first hate mail a few months ago during one of the SJW storms. And I said, when I got it, I'm like, ooh, hate mail, that's something popular people get.
Yeah, that's the usual reaction to hate mail we get.
I think the only time I actually got like hate mail was when I killed Whistler.
Spoilers.
I had one guy who was like, I threw up 3 times because it was so disgusting. And then later he messaged me and was like, since he's dead, can I have him? Can he be my OC?
He's dead.
He's dead.
All right, next question. Before she talks about killing more characters.
I wanted to ask, how important is the layout of your blog, the header, the background, the front, having a timeline of all your posts from start to finish,
Ooh.
and all that?
Buttons are really important.
Super
Art tags.
Like having a button and tagging everything correctly where you can show everyone just artwork or read from the beginning and references.
Just story posts.
Yeah.
I might have to redo the series one.
But having like quick references like that for people, like try and get into the mind of a newcomer and be like, oh, I want to read the story from the beginning. Here's a convenient button. I want to draw fan art. Here's a convenient button.
I want to talk to the mod and send buttons.
Hashtag butts.
All right,
No,
they gave us the
HTML.
5-minute signal, so we got time for one more question. One.
Then go quickly. Hurry, hurry.
As you said earlier, Tej, you were saying about collaboration with other Tumblrs. What is the dangers of doing crossovers with dead Tumblrs?
What?
Like you're doing a crossover with some Tumblrs and then they just drop off the map.
Oh.
What do you do with your story then?
You just gotta move on from it.
Keep going.
You gotta
Just
make
move
it
on.
up.
Salvage the
Try
story
and
however you
retcon
can.
it as best you can.
Can I ask another one?
Yeah.
What?
You just did.
All right, fine. Hurry
And
up.
my other question is, what do you do with other Tumblrs that don't use reference but actually more than likely steal or shoehorn your works and try to gain popularity off of them?
Confront them, but do it nicely. Do not, jump on them and be like, you're stealing my artwork.
And it's
Everyone
private.
who follows me, come yell at this person.
Try to settle the situation in private before you bring it out into the public sphere,
Exactly.
because when you bring it into the public, it will go off like a bomb.
Because
And it might
sometimes
hurt you
it's
too.
actually innocent. I've seen a lot of little kids who don't really know what they're doing, and they're like, oh, this is okay, right? It's on the internet. I'm allowed to, right? No.
As we say in Russia, yet.
All right, thanks for all the questions. We only got a few minutes left. There's something I wanted to say at the end here. It's no secret that Tumblr as of late has become a joke in general.
Well, I run a comedy blog, so that's kind of the point.
Not in a good way. Not in a good way. There's been a lot of flack associated with this site, and it's crawled into the community as well. Too much activism, per se.
Mainly because most of their ire is directed at us.
Possibly. Too many people just not updating anymore. People that we used to know and love in the community just not being there anymore. We all know good things do not last forever. Just because what we've had before was great and we can't have it again doesn't mean that it can't happen again. The only way the Tumblrpon community can be a great place to be is if everyone makes it a great place to be. To make great blogs, to make great characters, to make things that people want to love and follow, to overcome all the negativity that's happened.
And to be good people to each other.
To be kind to each other.
Be excellent to one another.
Be supportive. Be interactive. Treat it like a family. I've always felt the people of Tumblrpon were like a second family to me. These people are important to me because we have fun together. We have great times together. Everything we do is just fun and a good way to just relax and have a great time. We can make this place great again. We can make the community amazing. It's all dependent on us. We can make it a great place and a fun place. But it takes us doing it. So go out there, make an Ask blog, go have fun with it. You don't have to be the best artist in the world. You don't have to be the best writer in the world.
You don't even have to be good.
Just as long as you go out and do it and are having fun with it, and you're with other people that are having fun with it, then you're going to make a great community and you're going to squash out all the negativity. So they're giving us the closing sign. So I'd like to thank all my panelists, Wiggles.